Ready?
Yeah.
I feel the end is near with VBOK.
Finally.
Very exciting. Part 4. Probably the last part of my VBOK series. Thank you so much, TD, for joining us. Glad to have him.
It's the fun part.
Yeah. We're going to be talking about TP. Toilet paper.
So your main thing with wipes, you don't want to get your bleach wipes mixed up with your butt wipes. Very different things. You can always rehydrate your butt wipes, but your bleach wipes will actually lose efficacy with each rehydration you do.
Nice.
So I want to make a color-coded system. Give me about 45 minutes. I'm going to break out the label maker, and I have to walk them through this step by step.
Yeah, and we have to talk to you about how to store your butt wipes so that they don't dry out. A real problem. Don't laugh. Okay, that's what part 4 is all about. Butt wipes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well, not really. We forgot to put that in our hygiene thing, though. Come to think of it,
because it's such a given.
And they do dry out.
Yeah.
I have a very hard time keeping any wipes. Doesn't matter if it's antibacterial or anything. Put them in a glass jar. That is the only thing I have found that makes them last the test of time.
You just add a little bit of water here and there.
Yeah. Correct. So what do we cover in the other sections again? A bunch of stuff.
Pots and pans. I do remember that.
There's a little bit of that.
Cooking, food, fuel, tents, sleeping bags. Kind of the...
Oh, no, we didn't do tents yet. That's
this
part.
Oh, man.
Jumping ahead.
Yeah. Oh, first aid was the last one.
We went over... Where did it go? Our kit. Here it is right now. Now emblazoned with a couple stick-on patches. The backwards American flag is the only thing I could find. I mean, it looks right to you right there.
It's kind of hard to find tiny ones sometimes.
I had it, so I slapped it on there. I mean, again, this is being relegated into your V-Box, so you're not going to
see it.
You're never going to see it. I'm just a couple. But this is a legitimate kit. Links below. Please use our links. We like to make money just like you do, and it doesn't cost you anything.
Yeah.
Nothing. Yeah, this is a good one. The first really nice, ready-built first aid kit.
Yeah.
And you agreed, I believe.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
In most cases. I mean, we did a supplement. Again, go to part 3. We cover all of that.
Especially as a man-portable one. When you,
right.
Being vehicle-born doesn't mean you're always in the vehicle. You got to actually hike with this, which is
correct.
Something that I think people kind of forget.
Yeah. And you brought up a good point in part 3 that your hiking distance, even in an urban area, could easily be 50 miles. People commuting 50 miles is like common. So go watch part 3. We have that rant. We're kidding about the TP, of course. We're going to cover our weapon selections for our VBOK experience. I'm going to call it the experience. Vehicle Bugout Kit. To reiterate, you could just plan for a 7-day backpacking trip, add in a really appropriate gun, and you would be set for VBOK. But guys didn't want that. They want a series and a specific focus vehicle kit. So that's what you're getting. High detail.
High resolution.
High resolution as voted by the donors. Become a donor to the Nut and Fancy Project. Thank you very much for long-term support. It's the reason why we're working here. We're continuing, and we are finishing this series along with all the many reviews we've done over the last few weeks. You'll see them break out when it's appropriate to do so. By the way, TacticalDoodle is once again creating. He has videos on his channel. Go support him. Make sure you subscribe to TacticalDoodle in YouTube. For now, YouTube's still going.
Yeah, for now.
We'll see how it works.
I honestly thought I was banned a long time ago.
Me too.
Yeah.
And 2024 and beyond could bring those days that we've been talking about forever, but who knows? For now,
I just thought
we're creating and we're working hard in the salt mine of content creation for you. Entertaining, informative. Also, he has a Patreon, TacticalDoodle at Patreon. Please support him. Don't kid yourself. Anyone who gets a couple bucks thrown his way is more motivated to do content. It's just the way content creators work. And the more money we make in our donation environment, it motivates us and we deliver more product.
And I can tell my boss that I'm busy with other stuff. And if it pays better, it's very convenient to be able to tell him he's outbid.
Yeah, and he's telling the truth, by the way. So just like me, just like you, I mean, you weigh your time out as like how to best spend my very limited time on Earth. I love doing TMP, I'll tell you that. Yeah. But it's got to be profitable at this point. On we go, VBOK. Lots to cover in this part. I don't know how long it's going to go. I would estimate just over an hour. We need to fit everything in. This is not about TP. This is where we will eventually get to our weapon selection, like I said.
Isn't that exciting?
It is exciting.
That's the thing people always care about. because it's fun.
They do.
Because it's so fun to shop for a gun when you have a fantasy mission that you've built out for it.
It is fun.
And it's an excuse because you look in your armory and you go, nothing that I have fits this mission.
These guys are totally agreeing with what you're saying.
Honey, you don't get it. Okay, I know I have like a gun that's 80 to 95% there, but it doesn't do it enough, okay? I need something that's 4 ounces less and has a trigger just a little bit better.
Let me say this. Hopefully you never have to ask your wife to purchase anything. I'm just saying. Alpha males do what alpha males do, and it's for the benefit of the family. Okay? And I've always done it that way with your mom.
Yeah.
I never go to Mrs. Nut Fancy and say, I'm thinking about getting me a Springfield XDM.
All right, guys, I gotta leave the house. My wife just told me she didn't love me anymore.
That is not what I said.
Then what did you say?
I simply told you we couldn't afford for you to get another bike right now.
That's literally the same thing.
I'll just go do it. Mm-hmm. It's like, hey, of course, the project's a project, so a lot of coming and going.
Yeah, but
with
even
products.
before that, I remember.
Oh yeah, I remember
the fights from childhood.
Oh yeah,
Like
she
when I
was
picked
pissed.
up the old 226 or 228.
Yeah, I was just like, I don't care. I bought it. I never asked her. And early in our marriage, it was a huge issue.
Yeah.
And when because we didn't have money then, and so she found out I spent a large sum of money on those cigs, she was lit. And I hid them from her for the longest time. True statement.
You also had that, it's not mine, it's my friend's, which is
I
always,
did. She still brings that up.
It's a great.
Women never forget anything.
Yeah.
And here we go, digging into the Red Wing backpack. This is, I believe, the latest generation. Still my recommended carry case. This is a 5.0, 50-liter pack. I found one on Kelty.com, TacticalDoodle, that's in this wicked desert multicam. I'm going to link it below. I don't see it anywhere else but Kelty.com. But let's talk really quick. I don't want to get bogged down with this because we got a long ways to go. A solid color, best for urban environments. I think you can get away with this color in an urban environment. It doesn't necessarily look military or tactical. It blends in both environments. I would not wear a camouflage pattern in the city.
Hell no.
What should you dress like when you're in the city? Or evading, that's what we're going to call the VBOK getting out. We're evading, getting back to where we want to go. Remember, the goal is to get home. What should we look like when we're in an urban environment?
So I'm going to derail you for a sec while I remember. There is a very cool, oddly professionally made document from 2020, 2019.
Okay.
Made by like a leftist collective about how they would halt the election. It's called something like Stopping the Coup or something like that. And they explicitly talk about their demonstration tactic of choking off interchanges for interstates.
Oh, that's a good thing to
stop
add.
people. So when we talk about this, 24 is right around the corner.
Yep.
If you imagine your commute, read that through and say, how vulnerable am I to this tactic in my commute? In that case, you would, if you're on the interstate and then everything starts going haywire and people start getting a little frisky.
When you say frisky, they're actually creating armed roadblocks. And like they did in the CHOP or the Chaz, they broke out their AR-15s and planned on shooting anybody who did not agree with them.
Yeah.
Is that true?
Yeah, so that's
That's true, by the way. They said that. It's like if you don't agree with us, you are subject to being, well, you know what.
Yeah, I would rather have urban camo, which is not really camouflage, but you want to look like an indigent, obese person.
Well said.
Because you're, especially
You kind of look that way right now.
Yeah. Well, if you have masks like this, like I wouldn't want to walk around with tactical colors and Molly everywhere.
Okay.
Because you see that at a glance, they go, that's enemy faction right there.
Shoot that guy from long distance when
Yeah.
he's not looking. We'll take all his stuff.
Yeah.
And by the way, that's very easy for them to do. You cannot be on guard, especially if you're alone. Even if you're in a group of 3, it's going to be hard to defend against someone sniping you from long distance and taking your stuff. So what Doodle's saying is blend.
Yeah. Go to the thrift store and throw in like a quadruple XL shirt that looks whatever normal, like, the people in that kind of sector. Yeah.
Look downtrodden if you can possibly blend. Now, this size backpack is going to be hard to conceal. Just do the best you can. Now, in our environment, my build, I'm building for the desert, mountains, desert areas, rural areas, long hike. And so this color is appropriate for me. Multicam would be appropriate for me. I'm not planning to be around people. I'm planning on using the natural terrain to mask myself.
Yeah.
So really just put some thought into it. From the comments that I've read, which are really good in the donation environment and in when I post these on the B channel, I think most of these are getting posted on the nutandfancyproject.com channel. And they've been good, really good. So you guys, a lot of you guys have VBOKs already. Okay, that's a pack. We got a little side railed on that as usual. Now we get into just an organic pullout of what's in there. What are we talking about? What are we looking for? You mentioned it. We didn't cover it yet, but sleeping bags. Now, again, we're hiking week. It might be longer. How do we be comfortable? How are we going to be comfortable during that experience? In my smallish pack, this is not a large pack, I don't have a lot of capability. Sorry, still coughing. I'll edit those out. I don't have a lot of capability to integrate a full-sized sleeping bag. If you go to my my BOK series of videos, you will see I have a very compact sleeping bag there. And it does get down to about this size. I opted for something smaller. We have this, the SOL, Surely Out of Luck Escape Bivy Bag. This is the same type I've integrated in some of my other kit builds. These have gone up in price. But they never were super inexpensive. I've been integrating these into my kits for, 15 years, probably the whole time of TMP. You can go with a regular space bag, and I've had discussions like this before. What's better, a blanket or a bag? It's a bag. You want to be completely enclosed, even though it will trap the moisture. You'll probably be in a situation that you need body heat, and you probably need it quick, especially in the winter time. You can see it gives a explanation about the technology incorporated in this. This is the exact one I recommend, link below. This is the exact one. It comes in, I think, olive drab only now, but that's a great color. It might be available in orange as well. But how much does that weigh?
It's pretty light.
Super lightweight.
Half a pound, maybe.
Super lightweight. The weight might be on there. Holy crap, 2.5 pounds? What? I'm kidding, it's not 2.5 pounds. I'd say probably, 12 ounces, 10 ounces. But look how small it is, and it doesn't have insulation in it, doesn't have down, doesn't have polyfill. So you don't have any of that to compress over time and worry about. You can create a natural, like a space or a dead air space with natural materials like grass or something if you wanted to, using 2 of these. And that's, by the way, what I have in my VBOK because I'm planning for a 2-person bug out. So I have 2 of these in there. You can integrate a sleeping bag, but everything's attached to everything else. You're going to run out of room,
There's
dude.
another possible upside to this that you didn't mention.
What?
It may become a little more salient as time goes on.
Yeah.
Anytime you see these reflective emergency blankets.
Yeah.
And this is probably a reason to add in
I know where you're
full-size-
going with this. Drone.
Yep.
Drone hiding.
Harder to see in thermal, supposedly.
Really?
At least for civilian spec.
And people may scoff at that. I don't think you'll be scoffing in the years to come. When you see what this wicked government that we have in what used to be the United States, what they're going to do to people and how they're going to punish them and the technology that will put against them. So I think it's a real thing.
I mean, drones are cheap enough now.
Oh, yeah. They're going to get better, more,
If you have
pervasive.
something if you're looking to steal stuff, why wouldn't you just use this little battery-powered thing? Like, the tech is going to be common enough in no time that everyone's going to have it, so might as well plan ahead.
Yeah, insane. These are highly recommended, though. Escape Bivy. You could go, and I think I showed in my first aid supplement, I had a space blanket space bag. They're even smaller, but they don't have this cool, like, cambrel cloth lining on them that makes them a little bit comfortable. Now, let me show you something else that I am pairing. And as I think about this, I hope to remember this. I'm going to tell you a little dichotomy in my system right here. But I did add this because I had it. This is called a Sea to Summit Thermolite Reactor Fleece Liner. So I would actually probably put myself in that, and then I would pull the bivy bag over this. So that way it's not clammy. It's going to be warmer. This is very lightweight, relatively comfortable. This is kind of what it looks like. If they're still making it, I'll put a link below. Or something like it. Sometimes these products we cover they're just discontinued.
Yeah.
This is a sleeping bag liner, but it really is a lightweight fleece sleeping bag. For these 2 to pair up, that's going to be a relatively comfortable sleep. For me, probably down to 40 degrees. I'm going to be honest, below 40 degrees, I'm going to be cold.
Yeah.
But it's survival, it's not comfort. My dichotomy that I'm saying is, I'm thinking about this as like, for the amount of weight I have between these 2 items, I might as well go with a super compact sleeping bag. You got me. You got me. And if I find some in Amazon, should we put links to those? Because I I'll research them online. I may throw some links down there
Something
below.
looks particular. It really depends on the climate. How cold are you going to be? Where do you live? How cold does it get at night? How many well-equipped cartel commandos do you think you're going to see with high-altitude thermal vision? You know,
I think in my VBOK series, I was using a super quality down Sierra Designs sleeping bag, and I tell you what, that's legit. And down can actually remain compacted for a long period of time. Now we get to shelter. Okay, I'm going to get to that. This is what I've been using forever. This is called the 2-person survival tent. It's Don't Die in the Woods. If this part 4 gets 100,000 views, which is nothing, but if it does, I'm going to go out and sleep in this. We'll put it up. TD might be with me. We'll sleep in it and we'll tell you our opinion on it. Don't Die in the Woods. It's basically a Mylar tube tent, but it includes all the things you need to set it up, which will, by the way, need, I think, a couple trees. Then it has survival cord in it. Has our FM radio, which is weird. It doesn't have an FM radio. There you go. But it's small, compact. Once you break this out of the canister, I don't think you'll ever get it this small again. It's going to be hard. Anytime I've used this, any type of Mylar product, to get them to their factory size is impossible. But it's something. It gets you out of rain. It would help. And I have modeled living in tube tents before here in TMP. This is highly recommended. I think it's cost effective. However, I did find in Amazon, I have not tested it yet. Obviously, I've left it in the plastic because I want plastic protection. This is called the Tracker Tent 2.0. Man, I hope you guys hook into this. This is bigger. It's heavier than what I just showed you, obviously. But we're looking at firepower. This is basically an A-frame tent with poles that will set up self-sufficiently, and you don't need like natural limbs and stuff to set it up. It does not have a rain fly. It doesn't have a vestibule. I think of this as a survival tent. I have not personally used it, but I did purchase it, use some donation funds to go buy it. It does look legit. 2-person. I might put an overlay of what the size is. It's a really good color, that olive drab. It's a dim color that doesn't stand out too much. What do you think, Tactical Doodle?
it looks good. I mean, you're not going to get the opulent, fancy tent that you might want, but you need it to be compact, and you're never going to see it again, so who cares?
Yeah, it's sacrificial. Going into the VBOK forever, this is more than good. It's way better than this one. I'll tell you this just from experience. Tube tents suck.
Yeah.
Because you have to orient them properly. You have to maybe somehow create a wind block when the wind shifts on you, and it'll flush all that supposed heat that you've created. This sucks compared to this. This is a no kidding zip up compact tent. And by the way, I recommend this for your BOKs too. So hopefully that's still around. It's a Tracker Tent 2.0 by River Country Products, and it might change in name and vendor. I'll try to keep the links updated if this video is popular. What do you think of my choice?
I like it.
Yeah, so two people, like I'm pretty tall. I'm 6'3"-ish. This is nothing fancy. It's all of about 4'2", a little bit taller. And we could fit in there. What's next?
The pad?
Oh, yeah, let me show you this. So this is actually jumping ahead, by the way, to my food stuff. I could use this as a sitting pad, right? And multiple purposes, but it's actually meant for reconstituting freeze-dried meals. So they reconstitute better in cold weather, and highly recommended. You can make one of these on your own just by reflective closed-cell foam, the kind they insulate windows with. And these are fantastic. And I might as well just jump into it now. I don't think I have them with me, so I'll do an overlay. My food situation is as such. Remember in part 2, I think, or part 3, we covered our stove. And I said that's kind of telling you the way I'm going. It's all freeze-dried. Here's the deal, though. You cannot just cram your freeze-dried meals into your pack and think they're going to survive. What I have found through the hard school of hard knocks is that those pouches will get micro punctures in them and they will be compromised. They won't store as long. They'll get ruined. Some way, somehow, you're going to have a hard shell protection over your freeze-dried meals. Now, the ones I'm using right now are Mountain House meals, and I'm actually using them in the box I purchased them in. That is literally in my vehicle. The plan is I have more food than I need, but when I start hiking for the short term that I'm hiking, then that food will be placed into the pack or in a supplement carry case of some sort, freeze dried. Some of you guys might be going with MREs. Here's the deal. They're heavy and they don't store that long. MREs after about, they say 7 years, but I've eaten MREs and I've shown it on camera like 10 years old, and they're edible, but they're not amazing. I just want something I don't have to replace every 5 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're too dang heavy and bulky. But you might go with MREs. Your food situation might go with energy bars. For me, you're going to be hard pressed to beat that Mountain House stuff or something like it, because these are, no kidding, hot meals, beef stew, beef stroganoff, chili with meat, chicken a la king. These are good meals. All you have to do is add hot boiling water, keep it in your pouch, reconstitute it properly, and you'll be so glad you have it. Any thoughts on that? That's what I'm using. And we're kind of flying by that. I did have the whole case of food. Oh, here it is right here. Entertain of TD. I'm going to go grab it.
I know someone out there doesn't care at all even about food, so he'll probably just eat like tiger milk bars over and over, which is great because he'll be constipated and hiking a lot.
How long are those going to store, though? I have an answer for that.
I don't know.
They're not going to store that long.
They only store like 2 years.
2 years, and then they're hard as rocks.
Yeah.
Here's our food. So I do have the box. It's right here. So let's see. I've got 3 granola, 2 scrambled eggs, 2 chicken dumplings, 4 lasagna, 16 beanie weenies. Made that up. 3 turkey dinners in this box. And you guys will say, holy cow, dude, that takes up room. That's because I like to eat.
Yeah.
Good stuff, not shit. So there's your answer. Now, do you have room to store all this? Depends on your vehicle. Depends on you. But this is a hard shell protection. I just zipped the top up off so you could kind of see, what a pouch looks like. And these are the pouches that will get compromised over time. This is what I recommend. This exact thing. Now, Costco had these before, so you can go to your Costco and they still might have these. They kind of come and go. I'll try to put a link to this emergency meal. This is actually a very good value. And if you go watch my food storage videos, freeze dried. We're back to what I've been recommending all along. Stores for 25 years if it's kept proper conditions, no problems.
If you're not a food guy, at least have some kind of treat in your pack. You need something to look forward to at the end of each day, especially when it's rough and it sucks. It's nice having little way stations. And I know someone out there, he'll probably eat like slop chow or something, or some,
What's slop chow?
I'm having to censor myself a little bit. Eat some kind of cheesy, like human food, and he can just survive another day. You need something to look forward to. So whatever you have, I don't know, have something to tweak on. If you're a coffee guy, maybe have some coffee or hot chocolate.
I love that point.
Or treats, something that you can keep yourself together, because you're probably going to see some shit.
If you look at the Navy doesn't do much right. Not much.
Walking down the street with your best bro, and while you're walking, you accidentally touch hands. You think to yourself, that was weird, but I'm not gay. You are. You are gay.
Navy. Accelerate your life. Call 1-800-USA-NAVY.
But there is one thing they have gotten right the whole time. That is their food on their ships. Last time I was there, the food was amazing. Amazing. Their cooks were excellent because they know food drives to morale, drives to your will to continue. Therefore, your point is well taken. Integrate good food. Put in some treats, like you're saying, something you can look forward to. You will be amazed at how it uplifts you and allows you to carry on in difficult circumstances.
Yeah. It's also led to the most black-pilling moment of the war in one of those Japanese memoirs, when the guy learned that the Americans had a battleship dedicated to making ice cream.
That's right.
He'd been living on like a quarter pound of rice every day for a year, and he sees them rolling to port, and they're like, "Yeah, that's our ship that just makes ice cream. It goes around giving fresh frozen dairy to people." And he was like,
"We're gonna lose the war." Never mind, I can't get any parts for my Japanese Zero. We're going to lose the war if they have a battleship for ice cream. On we go. Lots to cover. One thing I wanted to say is that, again, since it's 2-person, and I did mention this, another bivy bag. This one's in the plastic, as I got it from Amazon, by the way. Just letting you know.
Yeah, a note about that thing. I pulled this out of there. Did you pop that open?
No, I didn't. It got damaged from use. So there you go.
So maybe something to consider. It looks
This
like
got
that thing's
crushed.
bound in a tube at least.
So I don't have 2 of these normally. So I mean, I have these other ones. I forgot one was in the pack already. So we're just showing you. But
As long as your pack's
Good to know.
waterproof, I guess you don't have to worry too much about it. But the
Good
fact
to
that
know.
paperboard is
yeah,
could get nice and wet.
what I'm going to do is just run a bead of Elmer's glue around that. And then it'll repair it. And by the way, it's kind of interesting that did come out because here's what it looks like. It's a brown zip pack. And again, you're not going to get it back into that size once you're done. Going back to water filtration, we forgot to show you this. We did mention it. The Amazon arrival did come. So this is the Nalgene bottle I used to filter in. Not the hard polycarbonate ones, which are heavy. This one's much lighter. This is what I hike with.
Is that the HDPE? Is that how they brand them?
May cause
High density
shrinkage of
polyethylene.
testes.
Yeah, everything does. Tap water.
Yeah, it's UVPE is what this is.
Yeah, so polyethylene. Yeah, because they have like those cheesy recycled bottles now, and if you drop them, they seem to shatter.
They're bad.
They're really bad.
They're bad.
But
And
they're recycled.
right.
Isn't that cool?
Kind of. This is a snow claw because in our environment we have snow. And yeah, I just had it, so I'm integrating it into the VBOK. And not just because of like maybe extracting a vehicle. Again, that's a separate kit. We made that point very clearly in previous episodes. But for like shelter creation, like scooping out a tent site, maybe making a snow cave, getting my bivvy into a snow cave, something like this. This is super versatile way to move snow. I'm in a snow environment.
Can you sit on that?
You can actually use this as a sled. I know because I've done it. I put my big old butt on there and I slid down a hill. I don't recommend it at my advanced age, apparently.
But you could have like a hard shell seat to put down if you have uncomfortable ground.
Yeah, another good use. Great job. Yeah, exactly. So you could just use it to insulate your fanny. I mean, can you imagine these two? That's actually a pretty comfortable seat in the woods.
Or a morale booster if you have a female companion you can spank along the way. That'd be fun.
I put this in here as a joke. This is not in my VBOK,
good.
but someone may mention it. They're like, how about a solar recharging device for your batteries? It's a week long. I would say no. You're going to use lithium batteries. Don't use rechargeables. They're heavier. Now, in your VBOK, no. In your BOK, yeah, I think I did mention this in your BOK. It makes a lot more sense because your BOK could be much longer term. But I just wanted to show it to you. These are actually kind of cool.
A fold out, like I have a fold out solar panel I use when I'm flying sometimes.
Speaking of which, I may put a link below. They have new technology solar panels that are super lightweight, flexible. They have a USB output, various outputs, and you can charge your phone. That I would recommend.
I use
it weighs like 6 ounces.
And it can charge. 18650s take a long time.
Yeah, they do.
So you really got to research your output and how you have it.
How much ground time you have. If you're not traveling, are you going to be stay put that long?
If you're trying to hike there, you may have intermittent cell service, which means your phone will last like 6 hours because it'll vacillate between seeking and receiving. So I would want to at least keep that because people will probably be asking if you survived or not.
Yeah, and will cell phones be up? Who knows? I would probably say no. Worst case, but you just don't know. Shake cup. I still have these. I don't think Walmart has these anymore, but this is a mix and serve container. I made a whole video on them about 27 years ago.
Have your pre-workout?
Oh my gosh, these are the best cups ever. I mean, for mixing drinks, and we do have some drink mixes we're going to show you. Hot drink soup, a great, and I didn't mention this in the food, a great thing to bring along that does store well as long as you don't penetrate the pouches with like bending and punctures. Lipton chicken noodle soup.
Huh. That
makes for a very hot pick-me-up. Not just cup of soup. I'd go with a full-fledged soup envelopes. Probably 4 of those in there at least, and drinking it. Here you go.
See, my favorite pre-workout is it's called Tomboy Squirt. It's full creatine, right? Full creatine mimics the flavor profile of a hot tomboy's blood plasma. And it really, I'm telling you, man, you lift on that, you feel like a barbarian king. You'll push so hard, you prolapse.
Did you say tomboy? What'd you call it? Tomboy?
Tomboy squirt.
That's nasty.
You haven't seen it, but those pre-workout things are wild looking these days.
Told you we'd get derailed.
Filters.
Oh, this is going back to water filter. These are actually paint filters, but I've modeled these before in camping. my camping videos and also all my survival kit videos, most of them. I don't know if USK has them. This is a filter, pre-filter. So any sediment, so we're going to use that bucket we talked about in part 3, fill it up, let it settle, and then when we filter, we're going to filter, we'll pour that through this and we filter that water. Okay, that's the game plan.
I like those a
We
lot
make
better
our
than,
cartridge last longer is the thing.
Like
What?
when people tell you to use coffee filters, I hate coffee filters. They have such a low flow rate.
They're
it
flat
messes
too.
with your entire system.
They're meant to be completely supported. They're
Yeah.
designed to be supported in a plastic cup. So in our application, they suck. These are actually funnels. So these are just paint filters. You can pick these up at most stores. I think Walmart even has them. Man, we got a lot more stuff to cover. Holy cow. I want to end in this part 4 too, dude. So we got to get going. Let's go to this next. This is my tool pouch. Any questions? Nothing fancy. You just can't like breeze through your tool pouch. You got to show us what's in it. All right, here we go. I have plastic bags. I think these are like, I don't know, 30-gallon plastic bags. Very useful. I have rubber bands. That's about as many as I think I might need in a week journey. I did coat those in Armor All because they will dry rot over time. I have a compass. Actually a pretty good one that you can use for like map reading, and I will integrate, I don't know if I have it here in the kit right now, a map of my area anticipated. So between this and my map reading skills, which are okay, they're not amazing, I can get where I'm going. I don't need a GPS. Now, in our area, we have mountains, and mountains are great navigational tools. It's almost impossible to get lost with mountains. You have them as a reference. Hey, my mountain range runs north to south. It runs east to west. Follow the damn mountain range. How can you get lost? If you live in flat terrain, this is super important so you're not walking in circles. Compass, permanent marker, very important. Mora, knife, very, very important. Now, we covered some knives previously. I think we did the cold steel,
Yeah.
the Western Hunter,
Those are
and
bigger
Scalper.
and beefier, though.
Yeah, this is just a very lightweight Mora blade, and this is, which model? The Companion, of course. A lot of these were discontinued. I don't see them anymore. Like, they had a wide variety of these style of fixed blade knives, but I see a Companion, I see a survival-focused one. These are great. They cost very little money. Bright color, so you don't lose it. You should be happy for that. So, all types of good use for that. And it weighs what? This weighs 4.5 ounces maybe. Cordage, different types, and I zip tied it together. Lightweight, a little thicker. Do I have 550 cord? Funny you should ask. The answer is yes. So here's some 550 cord right there. So how much cordage you carry? You figured out. This is what I'm carrying right here. I don't think it weighs that much, and it's so versatile. I can strap other things to the exterior of this pack. I have lash-on points throughout a Red Wing and probably your pack as well. Skizzers. These are children's scissors, but they're small, compact, and affordable. Wire cutters. Very important. Cutting zip ties, wire. I think I bought these at Harbor Freight for a couple of bucks. Very inexpensive. The downside is this is pretty heavy metal. I think these weigh about 3 ounces by themselves. Would you integrate these? Just leave them.
Yeah, I would have a multi-tool instead.
Gotcha.
It's not the best for that, but if you get the SOG ones with the sharp noses on them, then you can usually...
Let's see, multi-tool. Funny you should mention that. A watch. This is a little Casio World Time 10-year battery, not solar charged. I'll probably have a watch on as I find myself in that situation. Today is a Phoebus Leviathan. Link below, fantastic. Pre-dove, watch for its review. The Leviathan is amazing. What do you have on?
Golf Master.
Casio Golf Master.
When you're picking,
GWN.
When you're picking one, don't pick a solar if you're going to leave it in a bag, because
Yeah,
it's a great way to
good
kill
point.
the cell. They will die forever. You have to replace it. It's a whole thing. So
10-year battery. That's
Yeah.
not a solar power one. And it's so lightweight, so inexpensive. What model did I write down in there? Oh, there it is. It's the AE1000W2AV. $20 with World Time. Look at the weight. 1.4 ounces.
And
Amazing.
Even if you have a watch, your traveling companion who might be there might not.
Boom. That's right.
Wow.
Can't we say that without getting banned?
I don't know. Jiazawa.
You said multi-tool. Funny you should say that because here's mine right here, dude. In the VBOK, this is basically an homage, a copy of a Leatherman Wave, I think. Full stainless steel construction, affordable, and it's in the kit, dude. Look at that. Now, you can put your Leatherman charge in there. I'll put a link below, but it is sacrificial. Remember, you'll never use it unless you break down and have to hike. I love that blade right there. So charged, so wave-ish.
Leatherman did good work.
Yeah, dude. What do you think about this?
Yeah, there you go.
Now, should I just say they go buy the real Leatherman?
Sure.
Go buy the real Leatherman. Link below. There you go. There you go. I may put this one below too. I don't know how long they're going to be available.
Yeah, it's musical chairs with all those brands.
Yeah, they come and go very quickly, but dang, son, this is a legit multi-tool. Now, as good and as strong as like a no kidding name brand multi-tool, who knows? It's a week. It's a week that I need this to work, and it has a ton of tools in it. Scissors, I call it two-dimensional drivers, wire cutters, pliers, all the things we've talked about many times before. Here, you dig in there and tell me what you think. I'm going to straighten this out.
WD-40.
High production qualities.
Carabiners.
Hold on, this is important. That lubricates your
They
saws.
know what it does.
I guess you're right.
Spray it on your thighs so you smell better. And, carabiners, I like these. I
Yeah.
generally like the spinners more.
Oh, look at
These
you. You
ones.
have that on you.
Yeah.
The S-binders are awesome. From
Yeah.
Night Eyes, they will rust like a mother flipper,
Yeah.
though. I've had these rust, but if you keep them lubricated with your WD-40, you'll be fine.
The reason
Those are fantastic.
I like
though.
them more is if you put it in the same orientation, you can operate it blind and disconnect and snip
Show
stuff
them,
off
not
a
me.
lot easier.
Links
Just
for
not
some
looking at it.
I love them.
Harder to do with these because you don't have
Yeah.
as much leverage. They're shorter, stubbier. I would integrate both.
I put those in there because they're so lightweight, and it's
Yeah.
basically clipping stuff to the exterior of the pack.
Yeah,
Keep going.
very useful. Index cards.
To write on, leave messages, take notes, write journal of what is happening to you. I do recommend keeping a journal. I keep one every single day.
Duct tape.
Gorilla tape wrapped around a hotel key card or an unused credit card.
Some guys
very useful.
Wrap it around their lighter, but if your lighter leaks, then it creates a pretty bad mess.
Some wrap it around their water bottle,
Yeah.
and I've seen that a lot, but it's I don't know. I just don't do that.
Well, it's
This is so
easier
easy. Why not do that? It doesn't take up any space,
can
and you
throw
can
it
put
to
it in your
someone.
your pack.
Instead of,
Your
hey, can I
pocket.
use some tape? And then they wander off
Yes.
with your water bottle.
Correct.
Zip ties.
Boom.
That's for late night CBT sessions.
Any questions?
Kershaw, is this a Skyline?
That's a
Skyline
Skyline
17,
XL discontinued. That's a great knife still, and it's been relegated now to VBOK.
Nice, simple.
Clip carry. 14C28N is the steel choice on that. Razor sharp. It is fantastic.
I love these.
Sheffield.
These have gotten so much more expensive too.
They have. So this was
On
that
earth.
made for me? I think TMPP gave
he
that
do
one
that?
to me.
That's cool.
He made it gold and he sent it to me, and so I signed it. And I put carbide blades in those.
Yeah.
I mean, dude. I have one on my person at all times. This is the one I have on me right now. Boom.
Yeah, the blades,
Sheffield
they come with
1215. So excellent. So again, carbide blades, dual bimetal steel, and this is my most used knife.
Yeah.
As it should be. You don't have to sharpen it. Now this is an interesting thing. Well, show them that one real quick. So here's an old school Delica. 1 is none, 2 is 1. So this is my EDC blade. Super lightweight. This is the old grind that we used to have, VG10 steel. It was kind of a hard choice for me to relegate this to VBOK because I love it so much. This is one of my original Delicas, but I was like, I love it. Zip tie actuation, very, very rust proof steel, although it's soft. What can I say about Delica that I haven't said before? This is a cheesy pocket knife.
Coughlins.
This is a Coughlin's, just basic pocket knife. It has all, tweezers, toothpick. It does have scissors on it. Has a corkscrew, which you will not be using. The metal is garbage. Everything about it is crap, but I just didn't want to relegate like a very expensive
Yeah.
Swiss Army knife. And I'm doing this on purpose because I know your guys' money is tight, so I do want to say that this is a short time that we're talking about to get back to our location. So I didn't want to act like everything has to be top shelf. It doesn't have to be good enough to get you where you're going. It's garbage, isn't
That
it?
saw is not even, that's like blunt.
Yeah, agree. It does have scissors though.
Yeah, it's got scissors.
It's got a main blade is what you'll be using a lot. But again, I probably have more knife action than I need. Tactical
Dude, this
Doodle.
thing isn't even blunt enough to scratch my back with it.
It's bad.
Or it isn't even sharp enough.
Okay,
Wow.
maybe you've convinced me to put a link to the real Swiss Army knife
Okay,
product.
it does have a real saw, though.
I'm not going to say it's awesome. It sucks.
So
It
maybe
sucks
that's just a
bad.
bag scratcher or something.
Do you think I should throw it out of my kit? And I'm not kidding you.
Because you
when I
probably
ask you.
have another knife on you.
But
anyway.
you said something, and it's also went into my thought process as to why I put that in there. I'll be traveling with someone that has nothing,
Yeah.
and that's their knife. Okay, I have my multi-tool, the knives you saw, and I give them this. So now they have a way to cut. They're like, hey, do you have your knife? Do you have your
Yeah.
scissors again? I'm like, yeah, I just gave you that Coughlin's.
Yeah. Also, I hate this type of can opener. This is the worst.
Garbage. Pure
Horrible,
garbage.
horrible design.
Horrible.
The Victorinox one where you can rock, so much better.
To be clear, I absolutely hate that knife, but it's a loner. And on we go. Anything else in that kit, dude?
I don't think so.
Anything in the pockets we have not covered? Now, maybe you're getting excited and you're going, hey, nothing fancy, what about your fire kit? And to you, we say, how about this? Here it is. Fire kit, bro. In the flesh. Do I need to go over this? I've done so many fire making videos over the years, so many fire kit videos, updates, recommended supplies. If you're new to TMP, welcome, subscribe, become a donor to Tactical Doodle, to myself. Thank you very much. A couple bucks a month. It won't kill you. Trioxane, dudes. This is the best fire starter I've ever used in my life. I don't have to F around with it. I don't care if it's wet, damp, windy. I can just break off a cube of trioxane and off I go to the races. It's completely awesome. I know every time I bring up trioxane, everyone's going to weigh in with comments. Yeah, but I use petroleum-soaked cotton balls. I use this. I use that. I'm not saying those are not also excellent. I'm just saying this is what I go to. I bought a quantity of it about 30 years ago. This is 30 years old. As long as it's not opened and exposed to oxygen, it will last forever. As soon as you open it and it's exposed to oxygen, it will actually start to evaporate over time. Trioxane. It is designed to, and it was designed to run little foldable stoves for soldiers so they could heat up their sea rats. So this is the old way. That's why they're harder to find. Trioxane is very hard to find. Lifeboat matches, windproof, and this is an old REI box I had to tape up. That striker still works. They're strike anywhere, however. I have actually 2 bottles of matches, and they also have lifeboat style of matches in them. Look at those bad boys, dude. Awesome. And we can't strike them here because the fire department will come and probably throw us in jail. Lighter, of course. It's working here in the bunker. As soon as I need it out in the field, it will fail. You're saying, do you have a flint and steel, nothing fancy? Come on now. Please, please, please. You say you do. Okay, I do. And that's a good one. That's a Coughlin's, and that is a legitimate flint and steel. It works great. It throws a shower of sparks. Rape whistle is some way, somehow in the fire kit, which is a singling device. We're kidding about the rape thing. Well, maybe you get raped by a bear. That would suck, by the way.
It can happen.
Yeah, so... yeah, have a whistle for singling. I should have more than one whistle because there's more than one person traveling with me according to my kit build. Signal mirror. This is floatable. Instructions on the back. Very lightweight. This part will have a ton of links as well, don't you think?
Yeah.
And remember I said that lighter won't work? Well, here we go with 2. 2 is 1, 1 is none. See if this one works. It do. Now, we were missing those awesome lighters from days past that they still have, I think, in the Mideast. I used to buy them, the old Bics, so you can crank the flame and they shoot out like a flamethrower. Those days are pretty much done.
Given the weed hobby, I suspect there's a way to get those now.
Really?
Yeah, I think so.
I don't see them in stores readily available.
I'm
though.
seeing smoke shops pop up everywhere, and if someone were to care about having a good lighter, I would expect they would know. So.
That's actually a good pro tip. I'm going to go to my next cannabis shop looking for those old school Bic lighters because I'll tell you what, they're friggin' amazing.
He thinks
Aren't
you're
they?
a narc. We don't carry illegal stuff here, sir.
Yeah, I come in with my cargo pants. You can see I have like open carry. He's like, whoa, 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 sir, we have a license. Like, dude, I'm not here for that. Do you have the old Bic lighters? That'd be pretty fun.
Secret stuff.
And I think that's it, dude. We covered all the other stuff. We're looking in the bottom. Oh, yeah. Someone mentioned this as a good pro tip. Friction stuff.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, that's pretty
I
excellent.
didn't know they had that.
Yeah, so
Just use normal.
the Gold Bond anti-friction stuff is better than talc. I'm so glad someone said that. There's stuff in here, dude.
I hate the Gold Bond powder because if you're wet, it like burns.
Let me say
It's got
this.
that mentholated
I'm so
stuff,
glad you
so
brought
if you're
that up.
sweaty, it will be painful.
Did we say this in part 3? The new Gold Bond powder is not talc based. It is cornstarch based and is total garbage. Because they had the lawsuit, blah, 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 against talc. They should have never taken off the market. There's tons of things that are so-called dangerous. Yeah, this is really good. Also, coming out of the bottom of the pack is this. This is the stove. I don't think we showed you yet. Maybe we did. I forget. The folding compact stove. We'll have links to this. This is like 16 bucks. I think it's made of titanium. The stove we showed you was bigger, better pot support, but this is tiny, probably more effective. I have big rope. Why do I have this in addition to my Fat 50 cord and other cordage? The answer is for river crossing, stream crossing. So in Wyoming and Utah, they have huge runoffs and big water years, and I've actually used this exact style of rope, this one, to cross the stream safely as a backup in case I fell. And if I would have fallen, I would have at least gotten hurt, maybe died. That's how fast the water was running. That's why I have this level of, I would call it rescue rope. Ideally, I would have like a rappel rope, but it's too heavy, too expensive. I don't have room. Shake cup. It's going to mix up these drinks. These are electrolyte drinks. You can get whichever one you want. This is basically Gatorade. Also in there, you'll see Lexan, not plastic, but Lexan utensils for eating my frozen meals. Also in there, you'll see a 5-hour energy drink, which I do recommend. Also in there, misplaced, by the way, is a toothbrush. It should be in hygiene. I'll make sure I correct that.
If you're traveling with a panicky companion, I would add maybe some kind of anxiolytic thing or something. I don't know.
Be more specific. What
Like
do you mean?
CBD gummies or kratom
okay.
or what. Like if you're traveling with someone who's hysterical and they can't go to sleep at night, I would want something right here. It's like an herbal tea with a little kick to it, and then you know they're going to actually get a night of rest instead of staying up all night neurotically thinking about how they're going to die horribly.
My pro tip would be if you're traveling with someone hysterical, don't travel with them. They are jeopardizing your mission. Unless it's family. If it's
Sorry,
family,
Becca. I want to survive. You're going to leave me here in this
I'm
this
talking about
traffic
someone you
snarl?
met, not family or good friends. Pepto-Bismol, I actually put that in there because I need it. Yeah. Or whatever you need, your own health needs.
You might need it if you're in the city drinking recycled AC water.
I still get reflux here and there, and so Pepto is my friend. And that's that. On we go to weapons. Are you excited?
Finally.
Okay, what's your weapon of choice? Your primary weapon of choice, Tactical Doodle.
So I wanted something light, reliable, and known quantity.
Yeah.
So I went with a tried and true German revolver
What the hell?
in 22, I call it long cap. You may know it as 22 long.
This-
But long cap sounds cool in Western.
This is a Model 14.
Model 14, RG Industries.
There you go, bro. I'm thinking we may do our own video on this piece. This is my original self-defense revolver bought by my stepdad, Vernon. This was his gun. When I lived in Alabama, this was his gun. I just got it back from my mom. It was rusted. I did the best I could cleaning it up, and it still has an action that is buttery smooth.
Yeah, it's surprising.
Very amazing. And you have to take the cylinder pin out to reload it.
It's threaded.
You have to unscrew the cylinder
But
pin.
the
It's a
cylinder
double
doesn't-
action, though.
Cylinder doesn't come out, though. It's on a crane.
Isn't that weird? It's just
Yeah.
so funky. It'll be a fun tabletop review. He's joking, of course. But
It's an old Saturday night special, so I think from my little bit of reading, you might not even be legal to buy it or sell it today. To like a gun shop
Oh, I
or a
didn't
pawn
know
shop
that.
or something. Yeah.
Really?
I saw someone ask about values. They're like, I don't know if you can.
That
there."
doesn't make sense to me.
They banned Saturday night specials in the 90s, though. Remember that?
You can still
The Ring of Fire lawsuits and all
I
that.
don't know about
I
that.
wouldn't be surprised.
I don't know about that.
Yeah,
Hold
my
on.
real one.
No, that's not your real one.
Yeah, it is.
You would choose that? Come on. Hold it up so they can see it.
So I could up
Model
gun.
36 Chief Special. That's TD's gun. He bought that.
Yeah.
That is a great little gun. That one, as I recall, shoots very high.
Yeah.
My choice is, hand me that. It's on the wall. So if I'm going to go big. I'm going to go with an M41A pulse rifle.
Yeah.
There you go, boys. It's lightweight. Feel the weight.
It's a lot
Remember
lighter.
that from Aliens 2? Feel the weight.
Yeah. As long as you don't bring your underslung munitions, you know, the little launch grenades, it's
Yeah.
really light.
Our top choice for your VBOK gun would be a pulse rifle. Make sure, how many rounds are you going to take for this part right here? I'm thinking 200.
Like 3 or 4. Dude, they are heavy. I'd rather have a few more mags of that.
Oh my gosh. We're just joking around, dudes. Relax, relax. Okay, so I talked to a TMPP, that stands for TMP Patreon guy. We had a good conversation in private message, and his choice was a 22 Magnum pistol. And I said it made absolute sense. I'm like, good on you. I mean, congratulations. I like it. Our decision, and he and I have talked about this, what we're integrating is more. There's a reason for that. I did cover it in part 1. I talked about the road rage that is frequent in Utah. It's everywhere. It's one of the worst states ever. Believe it or not. I know it doesn't make any sense. And that's under rule of law. So I think when the balloon goes up, I think we have a lot higher propensity in my areas for more, let's just say, unsettled situations. And also it's for me. And my choice of gun is not a folding stock AR-15, not a folding stock, but I'm talking about a retracting stock. Because, I don't know where the brace thing is now. You were telling me the other day it's kind of tabled for the time being.
I can't keep up with it.
I would actually recommend that. Like if you went with like an AR-15 pistol, I think that would be an outstanding choice. Go watch, and I'll put a card here probably of our Lima pistol, the Delton Lima. That was amazing.
That's my truck gun.
It's amazing. So an AR-15 pistol would work, but just for legalities, believe it or not, boys and girls, I'm going with the Kel-Tec SU-16C. Thank you very much. Questions?
With the Strike Eagle.
And I just put the Strike Eagle 1-6 on it. That is an illuminated LVPO or LPVO, low power variable optic. Why would I go with this over a red dot? The question is versatility, because I'm in an unusual situation. I think I will never use this because, again, our philosophy is not to confront, not to have any level of violence. Our philosophy is just to get out of there and get to where we need to go. That being said, and you mentioned it, you could have violence coming to you.
Yeah.
You talked about the leftists and how they are planning to basically descend upon America and do what they're going to do. Will that happen in your area? I don't know. What you see, philosophically speaking, in the VBOK build here in TMP is planning for worst case. And I would literally like to integrate maybe a full-sized AR-15, but this is a folding stock. It's very compact overall length. It has a 16-inch barrel. It has that beautiful muzzle brake on it that I put on there. Oh my gosh, does that thing work so good. It directs it out the front. Love it, love it, love it. And then I have an old school 4.7's flashlight on there in a scope ring. I probably need to check those batteries. I haven't turned that thing on in a while. Better would be a brand new O-Light, but again, sacrificial. I think I'll put this in the VBOK. Check your batteries, check the function, all that. What do you think of my SU-16C choice?
I like it.
I do too.
Not an AR, which is good.
Because why?
Because the AR sends a signal that you're on the Chuds team, as they would call it.
Interesting.
So having that, and if I were
Interesting.
like loading this and I wanted to really camo it out, I would try and paint this like fake wood green so it looks like a hunting rifle.
Interesting.
Because they would look at that and go, "Oh, that's another fool like
Yeah.
me. He's definitely
hold
not
this
on the
up to him.
tactical
I gotta
enemy
grab
team."
some.
I do
So-
like variable optics too. I would get a throw lever for the Strike Eagle though, because it's kind of hard to.
What would you gain by having a throw lever though?
Because you can change it out easier. If your hands are wet or bloody, you will have a tough time rotating this. Try rotating
It's
it
going to
right
add
now.
more weight
Try
though.
rotating it right now. Do it fast. Try rotating it. Rotate the
Wait.
optic quick. Do it. Do it. Do it.
It is stiff.
That's the thing.
It's cold though too. It's been
I
in the
know,
truck.
But that's the thing. In different
is
conditions
tough.
and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
I would
tough.
want to just a little bit more leverage on there.
You know what I might do is shoot some my WD-40 in there.
Quit doing that.
I think it would help, dude.
Yeah.
It's sealed
It's kind of
against
like
it.
armor all though. You
That
use
is
it once,
stiff.
then you curse it.
This is
'Cause it
cold though.
dries it
This
out.
gun is like 25 degrees. It's coming out at
Yeah.
25 degrees, but that's a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
I noticed that. If you get I think it's the Burris competitor, they have a cool like.
oh yeah,
the
a
milled in
lot of
little
scopes have
Love
that.
one.
I love it.
Yeah.
In fact, there's another scope I want to recommend to you guys. You guys are always asking me. about AR-15 scopes. Even though I've made videos on it, I still get questions basically every month about it. This is a Sousa Optics 1:6:24. This is a super affordable AR-15 scope. Same philosophy of use as the one you see on it. The one thing I would say about this is this one's better, the Strike Eagle. I think the optics are better. But it's an option. A really excellent scope would be the Aerofox. I'm sorry, the Arrowhead. And speaking of throw levers, this one has a throw lever.
There you go.
And the one that I recommend most is a 1:10 power, link below, taking you to Pro 2A Optics Planet.
Sweet.
Really excellent scope. It is going to be heavier than what I have on it, but dang, son, it is a great scope, the Arrowheads. And I have sent several of my TMP donor friends buying the Arrowhead, and they've come back and reported they love it.
I pretty much love these way more than red dots by now.
Agreed.
I like them more than fixed power. I love them more than prisms. It does every base if you have like short to intermediate range.
Let me say this too. Those rings on there are the UTG Pros. Those are really excellent 30 mil rings. And funny you mentioned the red dot, because this exact cast member SU-16 was fitted with a red dot. And I think in the philosophy of use of VBOK, it's not enough. Why would I go with a red dot if I have to make a longer range shot, 100, 200 yards? I don't want to do that with a red dot. We've had this conversation many times. I think you're so much better off with the LPVO.
Yeah.
There you go. Great choice. I love my choice. The one thing you want to do with your gun in your BOKs, your VBOKs, your USKs, make sure you take them down and you have them fully lubricated. The SU-16, when you take it down, is a complete hassle because you do have to remove the optic. And then you remove the top tube, get into the innards, and I just re-sighted it in, by the way. Here's 50 yards from the Keltec SU-16. See the exact one you're looking at. And then afterwards, I did a detailed strip on it, and I lubricated it. It's ready to go to war.
So what ammo are you carrying with you?
Just FMJ 55.
Really? So you're
Yes,
not doing
sir.
the 77s?
No, I ain't. I probably should, but they're heavier, believe it or not.
Yeah.
In a 30-round mag, they add more weight to my loadout, and I think this will be sufficient. That's a decision I made.
Yeah.
A 55 traveling, I don't know, what, 2,400 feet per second. That's still a lot to contend with.
We were talking about it the other day, and a buddy was like, yeah, I would just rock 77s. And I said, right now, how many 77 grains do you own? Right now.
Yeah.
Right now, how many do you have? And he's like, well, you know. And I'm like, dude, the time to prep already
Agreed.
came and went. If you don't
Agreed.
have like 10,000 rounds of it right now.
Well said. Now, this is a normal load. This is a higher quality 55, and this is how much ammo I'm bringing. Now, some of you guys go, holy crap, nothing fancy. You're loaded for bear.
Huh?
Not really.
That's nothing.
This is nothing. This is just four
nothing.
30-round mags, 120 rounds. I'm not even at a combat loadout level for, well, I don't know about the Army, but Air Force
There's nothing,
was like
man.
180 rounds.
I think about mags in terms of firefight minutes. And you're looking
This
at
is
about
nothing.
2 minutes of combat. if
Well,
that.
this is indicative of our mission. That is to not fight at all, to
Yeah.
run away, avoid. This is just last ditch effort. At the same time, I'm saying with this caliber choice, I'm saying if it comes down to it, well, I'm going to fight.
I leave an
I wanna-
ammo belt in my car with a bunch of extra mags.
Do you?
Yeah. So it would be, you have the option of when you go, how spicy and frisky do things feel? Do I need the extra ammo or can I leave it behind?
Well said. C products, GI magazines, PMags are good too. I'll put some links to these below, I think, if I can. I don't even know if that's banned or not.
Isn't it fine to just leave them loaded now? It's
Yeah, absolutely.
It's the loading and unloading.
Absolutely.
That's been proven out. And
I've had GI mags loaded. I load them to about 28, 29 rounds, and I've taken GI mags that I've had loaded 10 years, and they function 100%. 100%. No problems at all. The PMags actually have the follower decompression top on them, so you can like push that round so it's not pushing against the magazine feed lips.
yeah.
How am I going to carry the ammo? Funny you should ask. I have this one right here. This is a fantastic chest rig. This is coming from Tactical
Oh, yeah. I remember
Shellback Tactical. I don't think they're around anymore. This is not a body armor rig. This is just a simple kangaroo pocket rig. And what do you know? I have a Peacemaker 1 cold steel dagger affixed there. Would I use that in VBOK? Well, I inherited this because I put this on years ago. Holy cow, that's stiff to get out. I need to re-armor all that. Plastic sheath. There's the blade. The answer is probably yeah, I would keep that on there. Why not? The only thing you need to be careful of is if you get in a ground tussle with someone and they see that knife, it can be used against you. But apparently it's going to be so hard to get out of the sheath, you don't have to worry about nothing.
It's a trick so you can shoot him.
He's like trying to get out. I was like, what the hell is wrong with that knife?
Meanwhile, I have enough time to reload. Oh, I
Show him
forgot.
up
You have
there.
to use. That's why it comes out. It's so you can empty out
That's
the
right.
Aha.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
1980.
He's still fiddling.
Good selection, Vernon. By the way, he was the most awesome stepdad ever. I loved him, loved him, loved him. Rest in peace. I just made an Instagram video about this concept, and that is including a utility pouch on your LBE. I do recommend it.
Oh, yeah.
This is the old Shellback Tactical in a different camouflage, but who cares? Just a utility pouch. So useful. Binoculars, small items, multi-tools, lighting stuff, everything you need that your pockets probably can't hold. This is a great rig. And then we have the piggyback pistol magazines, which are on the AR-15 magazine. So this is great. It'll carry everything I need to carry. Again, you're not seeing, at least in this, we're going to get to this here in a second, but you're not seeing like a Glock integration. I'm going with a rifle. We did show you a Beretta Jetfire, right?
While I'm thinking about it, this is also a good chance.
Hold that.
Take with you a bunch of different ideological patches so you can blend in with whatever kind of roadblock. So
really
get your
good point.
furry, get your rainbow flag AR-15 patch, get your FJB flatch. Your
Oh,
your
no,
flatch.
you don't want FJB because that says...
Either way.
Oh,
to
depending.
signal friend or foe.
Oh, gotcha.
Because especially if you have camo, you're automatically going to be seen as a hostile by a good chunk of freaks and weirdos out there. But having like a, I love anal thing sitting right there, they'd look at you and be like, oh, never mind, it's
I hope
friendly.
no one like cuts that portion of the video out and they use it against you. It's kind of like the outlaw Josie Wales. Remember when they're crossing the river?
Yeah.
The guy, he'd start singing the I wish I was down
Yeah,
whoever he's
exactly.
with. Then he'd change like songs according to who he's working with. Awesome. Okay, how do I carry it? One thing I'm going to recommend to you, and this is going to be better than that other one, is, and they still make this. I'm so glad they do. Blue Force Gear, the 10-speed chest rig. So this is an elasticized way to carry your magazines. Look at how compact. So this is actually, I'm probably going to take that one out and use this.
Yeah.
So it doesn't have the utility pouch, but it's super compact, super lightweight. I'm actually storing it in the case of the SU-16C.
But that's this is like for M14s. That's cool.
I'm funny.
I didn't know they made that.
It's funny you brought that up because it is a SCAR heavy pouch, but it works perfectly from experience with AR mags as well.
Can you stack 2 in there?
I think
probably
that would be a
stretch
push. I only have 4, so it doesn't matter. This works fine. So it doesn't matter if you get like an M1A, M14, SCAR heavy. Those will work great. I actually like this one better because I stretched my elastic out less.
Yeah.
Where did those mags go? Let's test it. They work great, and they actually retain pretty good too. There you go. But of course, if you're just going to use an AR-15 or something like it that uses that magazine system, use the M4 pouch. And I'll put a link to these below. This is my number one recommendation. Now let's circle back to what you guys are integrating. I talk to dudes in the donation environment. There's a lot of 5.28 choices, and I think that's great.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of 22 mag choices. I think that's great. And there's some 22 long rifle choices. It really depends on your environment, what you're anticipating. For me, when I talk about Vehicle Bugout Kit, I'm also upgunning because not necessarily will I be abandoning the vehicle. Do you understand? I might be in a situation where there's a roadblock and I can't carry 2 gun systems, and so that's another reason I'm upgunning, because if I get into one of those violent leftist roadblocks, and we're not exaggerating with that, what are you going to do? Do you want to fight that with a 22 long rifle?
That's why I like my Lima. 7 inches
It's
with that.
legit.
The compressor thing, every
Oh my
round
gosh.
is a flashbang. It is
It's so loud.
Disengagement made manifest.
It's
if
true.
you're anywhere in like a 40-foot cone by that, you'd be like, damn, what?
You're going to be burned by the flame coming out of that thing.
Yeah.
Also, good choices. Now, I don't know if this is the best choice, but you could go with something heavy like a 44 Magnum. This is the 329. The downside is the ammunition is very heavy and it's slower to reload. But again, if you're just, bugging out, it might be a choice. What do you feel about that? 44 Magnum revolver.
If you have the right clip system and you practice with it, it's
Well,
doable.
reloaders. If you're in bear country or where there's dangerous animals, maybe that would make more sense. Like if you're bugging out in Alaska. That's the one reason I wanted to show this. Another one we absolutely love, and this might supplant this SU-16. You guys didn't see this coming, is basically an optics-equipped 10-millimeter pistol. Boom. There's a Glock 40. Long slide. This is a legitimate VBOK gun. So this is something you could fight your way out of a lot of different situations. If you use full power 10-millimeter rounds, it is something to contend with.
Yeah.
Good firepower. As long as you don't use, in this one, the flat tipped bullets like the FMJs, don't use those. The Glocks, basically most guns don't like them. Use a no kidding rounded ogive hollow point in there. Maybe buffalo bore rounds if you can afford it. Those are full power. This is legit. Or the Glock 20 here in this super cool universal holster, link below, coated by myself, is a great option for VBOK. How do you think?
Yeah. I wish you could put a brace on this because that would add some range.
Yes, sir.
But
well, let's talk about that. That's a downside to any pistol system, is that you got this, the wobbliness, your practice level. It's going to be much easier to shoot with a rifle. But if someone said, hey, I've integrated a 10-millimeter Glock into my VBOK, what do you think? I'd be applauding. I was like, well done. Well done. And it's going to be more compact, lighter weight than that Glock. And also another one would be the Smith & Wesson M&P 10 M20. Watch my review. I'll card it right here. Another fantastic 10-millimeter pistol. And you said...
I want to try that thing out. SIG's got like a
the X10.
compact. It's like shortened down.
Haven't
and it
tested
has
that
some
yet.
compensation recoil system that makes it shoot soft. So I've heard good things, but haven't seen one in the flesh yet. But
10-millimeter pistol, great choice. I love it. How about anti-theft? And guys mentioned this when I did a poll in Patreon. They're like, hey, what about theft? If you run a pistol, you're probably going to have room to put it in your pack. Hopefully you can. If not, and I mentioned this in one of the parts, part 1 and part 2, you might, if you have an SU-16 or something like that, AR pistol, have a hard shell like Pelican case that is cable locked to some steel structure in your vehicle. I did that during the riots. It gave me a good peace of mind. I know someone cannot just simply break in and walk away with it. They're going to have to work at it. So do that. It's going to take more money, more weight. It is what it is. Now, you guys that have opted for smaller calibers, again, for your situation, that can make a lot of sense. And you'd probably have to worry a lot less about theft. Make sure you record your serial numbers, because if they're ever stolen, that's the first thing Ellie wants to know. What's the serial number, so they can watch out for it. If a crime is ever committed with your serial number, guess who they're going to come to? You. Say, hey, I reported this stolen back in 2023. By the way, I do have a soft case for carrying my SU-16. Does it look like an assault case? Well, kind of.
yeah, it does.
Well, it's square.
It
And
does.
here's the deal. Would you rather carry this with this SU-16 or just carry the gun?
I'd almost rather carry the gun.
You'll have to make a decision.
If
You
I
can pitch
have
this,
like
though. Leave
my
it in the
camo
vehicle.
stuff and all that.
Leave it in the vehicle then.
I just think the gun industry is very silly about how it thinks it fools people that all its case. Look, it's a tennis racket case.
TacticalDoodle?
I don't remember. Oh, I was just complaining about the silliness of gun case manufacturers acting like they fool anyone at all.
Well, let me say this. I did not choose that for deception
I know,
purposes.
but even
There's better choices.
But the deception ones, where it's like vaguely shaped like a tennis case, but it's obviously built to carry like 60 pounds of stuff, you can tell at a glance it's not.
There was that racquetball one that Blackhawk was making for a number of years. That one was actually pretty darn stealth.
because we see so many people running around in public with
I
racquetball cases.
still like it. I'm going to disagree. I like those,
It's
but they're
silly.
gone. One good case was that fake violin case that I put the Remington TAC V3 in. That thing was sick. And guess who discontinued them? Amazon. Yeah,
They're
did
cool. It's just I don't think you're fooling anyone, because do you see a guy walking around with like a bass guitar in public every day to the point where it's normal?
that. Point taken, but you're assuming people are smart and they pay attention. People are not smart. They don't pay
generally
attention.
dumb.
They have their head up their ass. And so if they do a quick glance, they're not going to process it the way you're processing it, because you pay attention. You know guns. You know the weight and the carry of guns. They don't. They're busy doing whatever they do. I think it's very easy to fool people. Very, very easy. One thing I want to talk about is the side pocket on on the Red Wing or your pack of choice, it could fit without an optic, at least to a certain depth, that Kel-Tec SU-16. So you could actually carry the gun on the side of your pack if you have a flow-through thing. Now the scope is going to get in the way, but I'm not getting rid of my scope. I could go with an iron-sighted and just use the crap sights that come on the SU-16, but no, I want a scope. But if you go with the 22 Magnum, maybe that super cool 5.7 carbine by the RD was R50 by Kel-Tec, that would fit totally. There you go. And I think we're done. We're definitely out of time. And just as I thought, we are over an hour for part 4 of VBOK. Anything to add?
I don't think so. I do. At some point, I really want to do like a thrift shop thing and build my evasion urban kit. Making it look as authentic and is totally.
I love it.
Perfect, but that's.
I love it.
Far down the road.
That's going to be on your channel, right?
Yeah, someday.
So tell Tactical Doodle in his Patreon service, join his Patreon, that you want to see his homeless bug out kit blending in with the homeless and his, as he said, thrift shop approach.
Well, because I'm mentally working through it, being able to cut it up, add some Velcro and stuff that would go over a plate carrier, so you could.
I forgot to show you this. This is my P365 and a Galco Classic Light. You could make a case, hey, this is going to be my bug out pistol.
Yeah.
And for short range, I say makes total sense. I don't know if I want to fight my way out of some roadblock where they're sailing rounds at me with just this. I want more. I will be watching the views of VBOK, and if they are sufficient enough, I just may break out a separate review on my clothing supplement to VBOK to include legitimate hiking boots. Tactical Doodle, what do you think of my choice?
Just make sure they're broken in.
These are broken in. I've covered the tips. These are steel shank. These are fantastic. Solos. Some of the best I've used recently, and I did review them, are the Hanwag Tetras. Dang, are those good boots. You got to try them. They are awesome. Kind of pricey, but you get what you pay for, and it is a sacrificial concept. You guys decide. But I don't want to hike 100 miles in a pair of damn Crocs, which I've been known to wear, by the way. Sorry. But not in the vehicle, though. Generally, I'm wearing, like, tennis shoes. But even tennis shoes I don't want to hike out in.
Those don't last.
It depends on you guys. If I get good views, good support, then I'll do, well, a review on clothing with some philosophy included. It will be interesting, actually, and we're done. Thanks again. Become a donor. Stay there for the rest of your life. TD has his donation page. Link below. I have it as well. Thanks so much. We'll see you in the next video. So much more to come. The best days of the Nut and Fancy Project, believe it or not, are still ahead. And this series kind of proves it. So we delivered on VBOK. See ya.